Hi everybody. Today I'm talking about choices and the power that choices can have on your child for communication. Now, these are choices that you give them. So we are, again, creating a communication-rich environment and giving them the opportunity to communicate with you. And you're going to give them a choice to support that. Communicating with choices also helps decrease their frustration. So instead of them just grabbing something, that's what they want, you give them a choice so that they're communicating with you their preference. It teaches them, again, that basis of communication. And that's really what these videos are about, is teaching the basis of communication, because a lot of times these late talkers need help with that, and that's okay. But that's what we're here for, and that's what we need to support. So the first example I have is a block puzzle, and I love block puzzles because they're tangible pieces that you can hold, and they're bigger and bulkier, and your little child's hand can grab onto them easier than the little pieces. I also use them not just for putting pieces in. It's okay if your child isn't yet at the stage where they can match each piece and fine motor their way into the puzzle pieces. That's okay, just use the puzzle pieces. As long as they're interested in looking at the different types of animals or different types of food or whatever it is your puzzle is, that's what is motivating them, and they get to have each little animal piece, and that's what it's about. So it's okay if you're not using the puzzle the way that puzzles are meant to be used. Do what you can, and again, with making choices, make sure it's something that is motivational for them all across the board with all of these activities that we're doing. So the first thing you're going to do when you're working with any type of pieces, this can be puzzles, it can be Legos or blocks, you're going to get all the pieces away and you're going to hide them or put them up or put them somewhere out of the child's reach, because you want the child to come to you and ask you for the pieces instead of just grabbing it and doing it themselves, because I guarantee you that's what they will do first, any child, no matter what. And I'm sure that a lot of you have your little ones that are very stubborn and they just want to do it on their own. So this is giving them the environment where they have to come to you and communicate with you to have their piece and to play with their toys. So you're going to put them up and you're just going to grab two pieces. I highly recommend only starting with two. Giving more than two choices, again, just increases the amount of language you're giving them, and you want to start smaller so that they can have more success. So you just put them up by your face. Bunny or turtle? Bunny, turtle. See how I'm decreasing my language? I'm not saying, do you want the white bunny, hop hop? Do you want the green turtle? Which one do you want? I'm not doing that. X that. We don't want to give them so much language where they don't know what it is that we want from them. We're just giving them their core words. Again, especially if this is a late talker, we want them to only be able to hear those core words that we expect from them. So, bunny or turtle, you're putting it up by your face so that they are attending to your mouth where your words are coming from. Also to your eyes to increase their eye contact with you, that social communication. So your child may not be at the level where they are able to verbally tell you, bunny, I want the bunny. So you watch how they're communicating with you, whether their eye gaze is going toward the bunny or their hand is trying to reach toward the bunny, whatever it is, that is how they are making their choice. That's the level they're at. You immediately give it to them. All of these activities are happening quickly and effectively so that your child isn't getting frustrated, because again, we want communication to be positive. We want it to be a good experience, something that eventually will come to them naturally. So their little eyes go toward the bunny, you immediately give it to them. Bunny, hop, hop, hop. Then you can give them more words. But while you're giving them the choice, you just want to give them the core words. So as soon as their eyes go to it, you say bunny, and maybe they are at the level where they're pointing. Or if they're reaching, you grab onto their little hand and you make their hand into a pointer and you say bunny, and then you immediately give it to them. Quick actions and quick movements for this, guys, is going to be the most effective. So you can do this again with puzzles. You can do it with blocks. If you do it with blocks, I recommend doing it with colors. So whatever the color blocks are, I have eggs as an example because I couldn't find my blocks, but you could say blue or pink, blue or pink. Now your child might not know colors yet. And that's fine. This is you teaching them. Whichever one they go towards first, blue. Yes, blue. So you're teaching them concepts. You're teaching them labeling. This is a really good teaching opportunity for them, as well as teaching them that communication interaction. Oh, I also have some little flashcard things in here. So you could even use like little cards if you wanted, if your child is at that level. So with some of my kids, especially that I'm treating over telepractice, because I'm not with them, I might use these little, oh, wow, where's the pig? And then they have to point to where the pig is. So that's treating their receptive language. So you can also do it that way. And again, this teaches that pointing aspect that we really, really want for your child to be able to identify. So you could say, where's the pig? And when they're reaching toward the pig, again, you hand over hand, put your hand over theirs to make that pointer so they identify pig. If your child is higher, you could say, oh, where's the animal? And then cognitively, you're treating that, their ability to identify a category, giving a object different descriptors. So there's a lot of ways that you could do that, and to just give them those two choices. That's getting into a higher level thing though that I'm not going to really talk about today. The other one I brought was food. This is a really fun activity to use with little ones if they like feeding like their stuffed animals or their dolls. So you could say, oh, what does baby want? Banana or grape? And then you wait. Processing also, guys. Banana, grape. And then you wait. Don't be careful with how much you ask questions. Decrease your amount of questions. When you're asking them to make a choice, you're still asking them a question. So give them some time. Their little brain might really need that time to process, and that's okay. They're still learning and they're growing. And think about how many words and how many concepts and things that a child is getting exposed to and learning for the first time every day. It's a lot. Their brain's on overload. So they might need that processing time to think about what it is you're asking them. So give them a second and keep it up by your face so you're giving that visual, and say it a couple times. And if they really don't make the choice, then you bring their hand to you and teach them that concept of making the choice. You always, always, always can bring it down to whatever level that they are at. And that's really important because, again, we won't expect a child that isn't speaking yet to make a choice beautifully at first. We have to teach them that concept. So it's okay. And we need to meet them where they're at. And I'll always say that. The last thing I want to make sure that I touch on is when you're doing an activity with choices, with a communication temptation, with anything where you are really working on their language and their communication interaction, only have one toy at a time. You could incorporate this into the choices. So, do you want puzzle or eggs? Puzzle, eggs. Once they make the choice, you get rid of the puzzle. Say they choose the eggs, get rid of the puzzle, hide it somewhere, have only the eggs in front of them. I know that our living rooms get overloaded with toys and it's hard to keep up with. I don't expect you to be 100% clean and tidy all the time. I'm not, nobody is, it's okay. But when you are really focusing on a certain activity and you have expectations for your child, you need to make their environment something that they will be effective in. So the child having a million toys around them is probably not going to be the most effective communication environment for them because they can easily grab onto things and do whatever they want. You want them to be focused on whatever it is that you are implementing and whatever it is that you are trying to get out of this activity. Now, it doesn't have to be like this all the time, but just even having a 15-minute spot in your day where you are really focusing on those skills and you're giving them that environment where they only have one thing can be really helpful. So I hope this was a good video. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thanks, guys.